Hey there, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting. I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today we're going to talk about, are there wrong techniques? So I had this question about is there a technique that is wrong, that you should not do because it is not going to manifest? And the answer to that question is, again, it depends on you, right? It depends. Really, the answer to all questions is it depends. So there's no technique, even a technique that you've never heard of that you don't know how to do yet, that someone else is going to make up tomorrow or you're going to make up tomorrow. They're not wrong, right? Any way that gets you to focus on the having of the thing that you want, of the living in that moment where you have it, and then doing the other steps too, right? Like believing it's possible and getting in touch with detachment and you don't need it, but you want it. And then living your life, which are the steps of manifesting. Anything that gets you in touch with that is going to work. It's going to work if you do it consistently and you're there more time than you're not, right? But if your focus continually goes back to not having it, then you're going to kind of stay there. Now, that doesn't mean, sometimes when people hear that, they get really, really afraid. They get really afraid that I can never, ever have a single thought of not having what I want. I can never have a single thought of lack. I can never acknowledge the current circumstances that I'm living in. And that's not it either. You can. You don't have to be afraid of your thoughts. You don't have to be afraid of acknowledging your current circumstances. You just don't want your primary focus to be there all the time. You don't want your internal world to have adopted that as the be-all, end-all, as the truth, as the place that you're going to stay. That's the deal. So I've gone off a little track here, but so let's get back to the question at hand. Are there techniques that are wrong? Now, there are techniques that you may be forcing yourself to do that don't feel good, that maybe put you in not a preferable state, that maybe you should look at. But you are the operant power. You are the one in control. You are the one making these decisions. And I think often that's really the trick in manifesting is that, at least for me, to begin with, I felt like my thoughts were just these things that I had no control over. I thought that my feelings were things that I had no control over. I thought that my state of being was something that I had no control over. But that's what part of this manifesting process is learning how to be the master of your own internal world. Because regardless of what circumstances happen in the external world, regardless of everything else, you absolutely, with 100% certainty, can be the master of your own internal world. Whether you manifest the outcome you want or not. And I think that's something that people don't feel like is true. But you can. So if you've picked a technique, though, that rubs you the wrong way, you can absolutely let it go. Stop doing it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Now, if there's a technique, there's this other feeling that I want to try to describe, even though I don't quite have the words in this moment. There's something that's just disciplined behavior, disciplined thought. And that is doing something that you don't prefer necessarily, but you still want to get the outcome. So this is the thing. There have been times in my manifesting journey, especially after it got easier, especially after I did all the hard work and I'm kind of lukewarm on manifesting something, where I just don't do the focusing work. I just don't do it. And sometimes I can very lightly connect with the thing I want, and it happens pretty immediately in those cases. And then there are times where I'm just not doing it. And so I'm not getting the result because I'm not doing it. But that's not because of a technique selection. It's because I haven't selected anything at all to really put me in touch with focusing on what I want. like a very particular specific thing. Overall, I've got my life to a place where it is what I want, right? So you can't pick a wrong technique. Although if there's something that you don't want to do, you don't have to do it. You don't have to. But if there is something that feels like I should just really do this, I should really just do affirmations. And it's not that you don't want to do it. It just feels like a little bit like a chore. Like doing the dishes, right? Like I don't always want to do the dishes, but I do always want a clean kitchen, right? And so to get the end result of having a clean kitchen, I do the dishes. And sometimes, if I'm really honest with myself, I can make it where doing the dishes is enjoyable. I don't always do that. I need to work on that for myself. But that's kind of how manifesting techniques are. Like it's never wrong to do the dishes. It's never wrong to do affirmations. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You can pick a different way. There's a lot of routes to your manifestation, and you get to pick. You are in control. You are the operant power. That's what I wanted to share today. Sorry that was rambly. Thank you so much for listening. May you manifest exactly what you want.